Hello, guys, and welcome. Happy Friday. Hope you had a wonderful 4th of July with your family. I'm sure that you've been thinking a lot about what makes America such a special place. This time of year, we always do. We're always very thankful for the people that have come before us to defend the really special thing that undergirds the American way, and that be freedom. And so to that, I'm going to jump right in. Freedom. We have to protect it. We can't just leave it be. We know the left is doing everything they can to take away our freedom and instill some kind of psychopathic government that wants to espouse Marxism and control everything that we do. This isn't hyperbole. This isn't me making a big deal. This is actually what's happening. Let me give you examples to that. On the 5th, Roy Cooper, our far left Democrat governor, comes in and vetoes a trio of bills that would, imagine this, give parents their rights to control the upbringing of their children. Isn't that great? These trio of bills would also help stop the classroom to operating room pipeline, and no one does it better than North Carolina, as we've shown over the last several months with offering transgender treatment to children who are virtually toddlers. So Governor Cooper comes in, gets the attaboy from all of his fellow Democrats on rejecting these bills, predicated on the lie that these bills are somehow taking away from LGBTQ families to enjoy the American way. That couldn't be further from the truth, actually. These bills protect all parental rights, no matter what, and I reject that premise, and so should you. So now we know what the Democrats stand for. Look, let's start with this Parental Rights Act. This came up early on in the legislative session, and let me tell you what it does. It prevents the government from doing the following things, which, by the way, they have no business doing. Number one, it prevents the government from extracting private details from children on these surveys without parental consent. So it prevents the government from asking things like, are you gay? How many sexual partners do you have? What was the first age that you had sex? Is there a gun in the house? And so forth. None of the business of the government. It also restricts the government from monitoring children for psychiatric disorders behind the backs of parents and then creating private medical records on that. That is no business of the government. It also will restrict the government from being able to diagnose and treat your children in school for psychiatric ailments. Can you imagine? These are not school psychologists or psychiatrists. These are freaking government shrinks. Remember, schools and their employees are agents of the government, guys. It also will prevent or curtail dramatically the government's ability to indoctrinate your child with ideas about porn, sexuality, alternative lifestyles. That's what the Parental Rights Bill actually does. So you're going to hear a lot about it. That's what it does. It limits government, just like every good piece of legislation will. Let's go to the fairness in women's and girls' sports. This will make it so that women and girls have their rights protected. Imagine that. Imagine that. So we fought long and hard to have our own sports leagues. Okay, so all this bill is doing is restoring that. It's upholding the rights that are already there and disallowing Marxists to take those rights from women. This came about because of our reporting on a girl, Peyton McNabb, who was a stellar basketball player in high school and was smashed so hard in the face from a guy on the opposing team that she has permanent neurological damage. Is that fair to women? Is that fair to girls? No, it is not. So all this bill is doing is restoring women's rights. Let's move on to the Youth Protection Act that Democrat Governor Roy Cooper vetoed. Okay, it will prevent the predatory practice of some healthcare practitioners and clinics from telling children and their parents that, your child has gender dysphoria and needs hormones, life-altering hormones or surgeries. It protects children, quite frankly, from being mutilated and sterilized. Now, the left would have you think this is restricting the rights of the healthcare practitioner? Well, they don't have boo to say when it comes to preventing some healthcare practitioners from giving an ultrasound before an abortion. This is the party. In fact, Roy Cooper himself, he issued an executive order to stop the rights of therapists and social workers from even talking about homosexuality when it comes to what they call conversion therapy. So he has no compunction on restricting the rights of healthcare workers to do the job that they see fit. And now Democrats want us to believe that we're impinging on others' rights. I'm sorry, I don't think so. And by the way, a majority of all voters or people that don't even know that they need to vote yet, they agree with us. You go in any of the 60 rural counties in North Carolina, take a poll of just 10 people walking around in Main Street, ask them if they think that boys should be on the girls' athletic teams. They're going to tell you no. Then head over into a Walmart, pick 3 people out of any Walmart line and ask them, should it be legal for children to be castrated and mutilated because of a mental health diagnosis? They'll tell you absolutely not. And then go to any church, or hell, go to any prison. Ask them if they think, any inmates think that it's appropriate to ask children behind the backs of their parents how many people they've had sex with, what age did they lose their virginity, and a host of other questions. They'll say the same thing. In other words, guys, I don't care what the Democrats say. These are universally terrible things that the government is doing to families and children. These 3 bills make perfect sense. The vetoes do not. So let me tell you what we're going to do. Education First Alliance is going to be in counties across North Carolina, asking people, do you think these things are appropriate? And letting them know who is doing it, who has vetoed the bills, who is fighting tooth and nail to make sure that the government gets into everyone's bedroom, including your children's. Stay tuned, share this video, let everybody know what's going on, because it's coming to you. If it's not already in your district, in your town, it's coming to you.